Republican U.S. Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana keeps reminding us that he is the 2024 version of Foghorn Leghorn. In Looney Tunes cartoons and animations, Foghorn was an out-of-touch, unrefined, blustery rooster with a southern accent. Senator Kennedy is not a rooster, but everything else fits. Here's Senator Kennedy, in a hearing questioning a Muslim witness.
And according to your website, you're also, I'm going to quote here, a longtime Democratic Party activist who served as a member of the 2016 Democratic National Convention's Platform Standing Committee, close quote. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. You support Hamas, do you not?
Senator, oddly enough, I'm going to say thank you for that question because it demonstrates the purpose of our hearing today in a very effective way.
Let's start first with a yes or no.
Hamas is a foreign terrorist organization that I do not support, but you asking the executive director of the Arab American Institute that question very much puts the focus on the issue of hate in our country.
Well, I got your answer, and I appreciate it.
That hearing witness is Maya Berry. She's the executive director of the Arab American Institute. It is a nonpartisan national civil rights advocacy organization that tries to stop hate crimes. Stopping hate crimes was the purpose of the Senate hearing, but Senator Kennedy focused on Berry, the only Muslim witness, and seemed agitated at her history of criticizing U.S. foreign policy. Earlier this year, the U.S. cut funding for the United Nations Relief Works Agency for Palestine, or UNRWA. A few UNRWA employees were allegedly involved in terror attacks against Israel. Berry, though, opposed cutting off the entire agency, leading Senator Kennedy to return to his original question of Berry.
Let me ask you one more time. You support Hamas, don't you? You support UNRWA and Hamas, don't you?
Sir,
Please.
I think it's exceptionally disappointing that you're looking at an Arab American witness before you and saying you support Hamas.
You know what's disappointing to me?
I do not support Hamas.
Bring yourself
I do
to
not
say
support Hamas.
You don't support UNRWA. You don't support Hamas. You don't.
I was very clear in my support for UNRWA.
Hezbollah, and you don't support Iran. You should hide your head in a bag.
You should hide your head in a bag? That's even worse than Foghorn's I say, and that's a joke, son. Clearly, Senator Kennedy is worse than Foghorn, in part because Foghorn is a fictional cartoon character, and Senator Kennedy is a living and breathing cartoon buffoon. Senator Kennedy, who's not related to the more famous Kennedy political family, has been serving as the junior senator from Louisiana since 2017, and his Senate career has been marked by several outrageous and bizarre verbal outbursts. Not all of them have been off the cuff. In his 2022 Senate re-election campaign, Senator Kennedy ran this ad.
Violent crime is surging in Louisiana. Woke leaders blame the police. I blame the criminals. A mom should not have to look over her shoulder when she's pumping gas. I voted against the early release of violent criminals, and I opposed defunding the police. Look, if you hate cops just because they're cops, the next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead.
Call a crackhead. Well, the message that Senator Kennedy keeps delivering is that he is happy to sail past the boundaries of basic decency and decorum. And that was most evident in a Senate hearing in the fall of 2023 over books that conservatives want public libraries to ban. The state of Illinois passed a law that prohibits libraries from banning books. And during a contentious Senate hearing, Senator Kennedy criticized the Illinois Secretary of State by reading selected passages of two books that remain in libraries.
The first one is called All Boys Aren't Blue. And I will quote from it. I put some lube on and got him on his knees. And I began to slide into him from behind. I pulled out of him and kissed him while he masturbated. He asked me to turn over while he slipped a condom on himself. This was my ass, and I was struggling to imagine someone inside me. I got a new strap-on harness today. I can't wait to put it on you. I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life, then I want you inside of me.
Senator Kennedy's antics only seemed to backfire. He was widely ridiculed for his apparent obsession with the graphic passages, and it led many people to wonder if the senator was another closeted gay conservative who secretly, or not so secretly, wishes he could be more open about his own sexuality and desires. The senator's approach also drew unparalleled attention to the novels, causing tens of thousands of teenagers to seek out those books and read them. And to this day, Senator Kennedy's thick Southern accent while saying the word blowjob remains one of the most viral clips in recent U.S. Senate history.
I'm going to give you the blowjob of your life.
For better or for worse, that is a remarkable accomplishment. Most of Senator Kennedy's efforts, though, have been more straightforward, though also fairly controversial. After the 2020 election, he joined 11 other Republican senators in objecting to certain states' electoral college votes unless the vote was audited. Relatedly, Kennedy voted against convicting Donald Trump in the second impeachment trial, an impeachment that stemmed from the January 6th riot and Trump's efforts to overturn the election. Senator Kennedy voted against the formation of the January 6th Special Select Committee. He voted against the COVID recovery package, calling it an orgy of pork, and he voted against the Inflation Reduction Act. But to be fair, Kennedy has also reached across the aisle sometimes. He sponsored and got a bill signed into law to hold foreign companies accountable to audits. Another bill he passed cuts down on the flow of opioids. And Senator Kennedy is regarded personally by Republicans and Democrats as likable and thoughtful. 50 years ago, the senator graduated at the top of his class from Vanderbilt University and then went on to become the editor of the Law Review at the University of Virginia. In other words, he is no dummy. But as he has gotten older, and he's now 72, the controversies and foghorn leghorn moments have piled up. A year ago, the senator sparked a diplomatic clash with Mexico. During a Senate hearing, Kennedy questioned why the U.S. was not asking Mexico to do more to stop the flow of illegal drugs. And the senator added, "Without the people of America, Mexico, figuratively speaking, would be eating cat food out of a can and living in a tent." The government of Mexico was infuriated, as was the Biden administration, which quickly dispatched officials to reassure Mexican lawmakers that Senator Kennedy's bigotry belonged only to him. Likewise, Senator Kennedy's comment to a prominent Muslim that she should put a bag over her head has caused other Senate Republicans to squirm. They have told reporters that even though they agree with the senator's frustration at some Arab American organizations, the comment was inappropriate and not helpful. In other words, Senator Kennedy may sound like Foghorn Leghorn, but unlike the Looney Tunes character, Senator Kennedy is not funny or entertaining. He is increasingly divisive, simplistic, and hateful. That's not a good look for the U.S. Senate, a chamber where the issues of our time should be met with thoughtful and serious debate. Instead, with Louisiana's John Kennedy, the Senate becomes a joke marked by boneheaded discourse, and even the cartoon characters on Looney Tunes would be ashamed and embarrassed.
I can't wait to have your cock in my mouth.
I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.